This ain't just a channel, this is BBTV.
Welcome to Monday Petty Monday, where we don't start drama, we just document it. If something annoyed you, irritated you, or lived rent-free in your head all week, you're in the right place.
A boss be rising, BBTV's igniting, turn the volume up. Yeah, the whole world's invited, from the gravel roads to the neon dreams. She built an empire out of broken wings. Boss be rising, sky ain't even the ceiling. When she hits go live, everybody feels it.
All right, let me just say this. I get in here and there is an oh yes in my comments already. You must be talking about the time change, huh, Des? Well, you know, I've been watching my stats and everything, and it said 3 p.m. was a really good time. So we're going to give it a try. And hopefully that'll make even more than just Des happy, because I know you back there listening, honey, and I love you for it. You know I do. So welcome back to Ask a Bee. Hope you're all doing well. And yes, we have changed our time up a bit. But listen, 3 seems to be when you all are here. So I thought I would match that energy and, you know, try to be here for you. Get it? Pun intended. Anyway, I know I'm goofy today. Get over it. Now, let's get into your daily AITA. Am I the a-hole live stream where messy family dynamics, emotional chess matches, and long simmering grudges finally get dragged into the sunlight and put on trial? And then, you know me, I wrap it up with some epic music, you know, or well, my shorts are good enough, right? Y'all go check them out because they're amazing. So today is one of those days where we stretch our fingers, crack our necks, and prepare for full-scale relational chaos, okay? Because it is Petty Monday, and the docket is stacked with, you know, spouses keeping receipts, you know, from the previous decade, mother-in-laws auditioning for Emotional Landlord of the Year, family group chats going DEFCON 1, and grown ass adults, okay, discovering in real time that sometimes the call is coming from inside the house. So if you're new here, let me explain how this works. You bring the stories, I bring the magnifying glass, the side eye, you know, the emotional common sense, and then the courtroom gavel. No, not the real gavel, and not in a real courtroom sense, but you know what I mean. And together, we decide whether someone was justified or messy, reckless, retaliatory, or just so committed to being right that they accidentally burned down Thanksgiving. And if you're a returning member of the Hive, then you already know what time it is, okay? Grab your coffee, sit back, stretch out, and get ready, because today's lineup is all about long-term resentment, power plays disguised as politeness, people weaponizing old arguments like they've been saving them in climate-controlled storage, and the kind of family tension that makes you stare at the ceiling at 3 a.m. replaying conversations you wish you'd handled differently. So chat ready, clip hunters, lock in, lurkers, you know, lean forward for once, because the first story on today's Petty Monday is a masterclass in delayed revenge, public callouts, and the dangerous game of turning a marriage into a scoreboard. Never a good idea. And I promise you, by the time we're done with this one, somebody's getting emotionally subpoenaed. Okay? Amen, Starboy. Faith. Faith is good. Faith is always good, is it not? Amen. Glad to have you. Thank you for being here. Okay, so we're going to get into this first story. Let me get us all loaded up here, because you know I got to have all my stuff going. All righty. Let's see here. Now, make sure I get us together here. I do believe I do. Am I the a-hole? And you know I won't say that, and pardon me, these were quickly edited, so if I didn't get them in the text, forgive me. I'm trying not to say them out loud, okay? AITA for calling my husband a petty infantile a-hole in front of our whole family. Yes. I'll put that right out there. Yes, because you don't do that in front of family. Also, I want to say something else before I read this story, because this story is about something that I've actually covered in a different story before. So it's going to sound like the same, but it's not. It's a totally different situation. Now, my Christmas present from my husband in 2013 were tickets to see a musician I absolutely love. Like, I love their music and really enjoy it. So I was really happy and grateful my husband got me tickets. It was kind and thoughtful, and I told him how much I appreciate it. He got me 2 tickets, so I invited my sister and we made a girly weekend of it. Okay. My husband was upset that I didn't take him. Uh-huh. He'd bought the tickets for us to go together. Okay, here we go, guys. Get ready for it. So I pointed out that it was a gift to me, so I could decide who to take. And most importantly, I feel he would have ruined the experience. I'm a super fan of this artist, and my husband is kind of a super hater. That's a big deal, isn't it? That's always going to, yeah, I know that feeling. That's going to damper that mood real quick. So he pokes fun and criticizes everything: music, lyrics, looks. He just shits on it because he thinks they're overrated and need knocking down. Yep, I know that one. Hi, Patty friend. Good to see you, honey. What do you think about this time slot? Is this one good for you? I'm trying to get in there where everybody's at, and I'm being told that 3 o'clock is a good time. Let me know. Chime in, please, dear, because absolutely I want to be here when you can be here too. Okay, back to the letter. We've had words about this. Okay, I've had words with my husband about things like that before myself. Can't deny that. We've heard about this, or words about this, and why he feels the need to do that, and why. Oh, and we can't agree. Okay. Anyway, I chose to go with my sister because I needed someone who would match my energy and genuinely enjoy the concert. Okay, yes. Oh, hey, great on days off then. Absolutely. I'll take you on your days off. One of these days I'm going to come see you and take you somewhere on your day off. Just me and you, a girl's night. Probably to a concert, an artist that my husband doesn't like. Okay. My husband said this was him making an effort to get into my world, and I denied him that. Okay. Well, he's got a good argument. I apologized and thought that was that. I think that's your first mistake. You shouldn't have thought that was that. Fast forward to this year. I bought my husband tickets to a major football game. How nice of you. Ruh-roh. Now I'm not a football fan. You won't catch me Saturday every weekend following the games or looking at charts, but I love the atmosphere of live events and always watch major games like World Cup, Euros, AFCON, etc. in the final rounds because I love excitement in the air. Okay. This sounds like me and mine, you know? So we host friends or go to parties specifically for this, and I genuinely enjoy watching the game, like screaming at the players, like I could do better, enjoy, lol. Okay. My husband loves this because he finds it funny how invested I get and says he likes it when I watch it with him and get involved. Okay. I've got that same statement before. So I got my husband tickets to the Euros semifinal where our country was playing. I booked a hotel as soon as it was clear and the game was going ahead, and I was getting excited. Wow, a hotel and everything. She went all out. I was very excited and telling people about it, only for my husband to say he's taking his friend. Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness. And I haven't switched these yet, have I? Sorry. Yeah. I asked why he made a reference to how I took someone else. Oh, wait. I asked why he made a reference to how I took someone else to the concert. So he's taking his friend. I told him that was different because he wouldn't have enjoyed the concert. I would enjoy the game and I was very looking forward to it and I had apologized. But did you really? He said, doesn't matter. His tickets, his rules, and went with his friend. Okay, he's being kind of a little bit pissy. I'll use that word, pissy. That's a safe word. I was obviously very hurt by him going out of his way to get even when I thought this was water under the bridge. I was hosting a social for the final, and his mom asked how it felt to be at a live event after so long. Whoops. I told her I didn't go because her son chose not to take me. We got into a back and forth, and I ended up calling him a petty, childish a hole and kind of ruined the vibe for our guest. Am I the a hole? Okay, before we go into this, there is more. So my husband intentionally denied me an opportunity to get even over an 8-year-old grudge. First off, what married couple holds grudges for 8 years and is still together? That's my question. All right. Edit. Thanks for your input. The odds tell me I'm getting an a-hole judgment. Well, yeah. Some voted we were both wrong, and a minority that I wasn't wrong. Duly noted. I'm logging out of this account so you won't be hearing from me, but thanks for engaging. Okay, first and foremost, that is the most spoiled ass thing I think I've ever heard. And pardon the French, but come on. You won't be hearing from me. Okay, sorry. I hate that stuff. Hello, Nisi. Good to see you, plus sister. I missed you, doll. Okay, so a little bit more we got here. I don't get the point of people coming to my inbox to yell at me and pass comment on my character. But honey, you wrote it in Reddit. That's what you do when you go to Reddit. You're supposed to get this stuff. That's why it's there. Sorry. I'm being pissy. But yeah, if you're going to put it on Reddit for the whole world to see, honey, expect somebody to say something bad about you. Okay. I'm on here every single day, and I guarantee you there's at least one comment about my looks every single day. And guess what? I don't care. You don't know me. I may not be beautiful, but to me, to my family, to my husband, I am gorgeous, honey. So get off of it. Y'all need to get over yourselves. Okay, I went off on a different tangent. I agree. How old are these people? 12? I know, right? And that's probably why they didn't put this in that one. And that sucks because I really would like to know. Because, hello, children. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so I don't know what that's meant to achieve, especially when there's a whole comment section for that specific purpose. It's reckless to me to harm myself over a Reddit post. Okay, I don't remember seeing that. A more fragile person might follow through, and there's no reason you should ever say that to a person. There's no reason you should ever put your business in the middle of somebody else's either. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be morbidly rude or anything like that, but come on. You've got to expect people to say stupid stuff when you're telling your whole story in the middle of a stupid place. Because that's what Reddit is. It's for people who want to go bitch about stuff. And they do. And when they don't get the answer they want, especially in the AITA, that's why it's so fun for me, okay? Because then I get to get on these tangents, right? But come on. Get real with yourself. If you're going to put this online for the whole world to see, expect negativity. That's all there's going to be in most cases, especially like this, because, yeah, you shouldn't have brought that up in mixed company either. Hello. All right, but here goes the rest of it. As some of you may know, the Euros were months ago. We've generally moved past it. There is still some disagreement about how things went down and what responsibility is to be taken for what and by whom. Okay, I don't know nothing about the Euros. Hey, Walt, thank you. Eddie and Petty LaBelle. Yes, yes, that's what I'm talking about right there. Petty LaBelle, baby. You are the best, Walt. I love it when you show up and make it great. Uh-huh. All of this could have been avoided with a conversation, something like, hey, don't make any plans for this particular day or this particular time. I'm taking you somewhere. It's right, right. It's almost as if they were both looking for an out and didn't have the guts to say that they didn't want to go. Amen, Walt. Thank you. Exactly. That is what I'm talking about right there. It's just, oh, that's damn ridiculous. Come on. Grow up. Ooh. And then for her to say that, you won't hear from me anymore. She's throwing a tantrum. Honey, little girl, grow up. All right. So thanks to all who remain civil in their engagement. All right. Now I do have something a little more calculated for an answer here. Maybe. I might not. No. No, 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 no. Oh, no. No, no. See, this is Olympic level petty with a commemorative plaque, okay, a ribbon cutting ceremony, a marching band, and a bronze statue of resentment unveiled in the town square. That's what this looks like to me, right? Doesn't sound like these two like even like each other, right? They both need a good dose of reality. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, heck yeah. Absolutely. And I bet you they ain't even got kids yet. You know, I'm not. Oh my gosh. I just don't understand people like this, truly. I don't. 8-year grudge stored in the freezer like a lasagna waiting for a microwave. Oh my gosh. I circled this date on the calendar in 2013 and finally cashed the check in 2024. Yay! Because that is exactly what this man just did, too. They're both assholes, if you ask me. And yes, I said it. And yes, I meant it because they are. They're children. Children, grow up. Oh my gosh. That is exactly what this man did. He just waited and waited for 8 years. Are you kidding me? He didn't forgive. He didn't grow. He waited for almost a decade, like a raccoon sitting in a tree, whispering, one day, the Euros, my moment will come. Are you kidding me? And let's walk through the madness slowly for just a second because the pacing matters here too, okay? You get concert tickets. You are a super fan. Capital S, right? Foam at the mouth, lyric memorized, emotional, out of body experience level fan. And your husband is not neutral. He's not casually indifferent. He is a professional heckler who treats joy like it owes him money. Okay. He's poking at lyrics and the outfits and the faces, the production, the whole vibe, right? The spiritual experience that you're having is doomed immediately. So I understand the reasoning, but why not say, but you don't like them? I mean, communication is key, people. You don't like that group. So how about I'll take my sister instead? Or communicate. I don't know what else to say. That is trash. That is trash for both of them. You already know from history that he would have turned the night into running commentary track. Okay. Nobody asked for it. So you say. And I'm bringing my sister because I want someone who will scream the lyrics with me, not critique the drummer's haircut. I get it. I do. I get it. It's logical. Okay. Sane, adult, emotionally literate, and generally known in the field as protecting your peace. And on top of that, you apologized. Okay, I'll give you that. Patty says, they both need to agree to stop buying tickets for each other. Amen, sis. Buy your own dang tickets for what you want to do. That is exactly it. He had to wait for her to give him tickets. Yeah, I guess she shouldn't have taken 8 years to give him tickets, huh, Walt? There's another case right there. See? Walt talks, no fluff, just the good stuff. Okay, so she apologized. Great. You didn't say screw you, okay? You didn't say die mad. You didn't say this is why nobody invites you anywhere. What you did say was, I'm sorry, but I needed a hype partner, not a hater, which is a healthy marriage. In a healthy marriage, pardon me, should have closed the file. But you know what? These two are not grown enough, I don't think, to understand that part. And I mean, you just stamp that resolved. And how could you? Because it's not. You got to know it's not. Slid it into a cabinet, old arguments. That's it. Rolled the credits with soft music playing, but no. Hard cut, smash, edit, record scratch. Okay, fast forward 8 years. 8. And that is not petty anymore. That is, archival resentment, I guess you could say. That is carbon dating anger. And that's something future anthropologists will excavate and go, wow, this was preserved in remarkable condition. And then you, like a normal loving spouse, buy him tickets to a massive football match. You are excited. You booked the hotel. I mean, come on, you booked a hotel too. But is that making up for waiting for 8 friggin' years to get him tickets to something? I'm so torn about this one. I'm over here and over here and over here and over here because you're both assholes. Plain and simple. Communicate. And Walt, Nisi spoke to you. Say hello, please. I love it when my family's here. Okay. It was nice what she's trying to do and everything, but why did she wait so long? That's my problem with this whole thing. Because, if they're able to do those kind of things for each other, then why isn't it happening more regular? That way, you could get this out of your system in the beginning of your marriage before 8 years or whatever. 8 years of being together. They can't be that young. There's no way they have kids. That's what makes you grow up. I don't care what anybody says. Soon as you find out you're pregnant or your spouse is having a child, you grow up. It's a switch. I'm telling you. I got 3 and I grew up 3 times. I'm still trying to get grown up. I'll never make it here. Oh my gosh. I mean, you got to believe that she's sitting there, mentally rehearsing, screaming at referees like they personally wronged you. Okay. I do that too. I will be honest with you. I am not a huge, Walt, forgive me. I love you, my friend. I'm not a huge football fan. I wasn't a football fan until recently because, well, you're going to think this is hillbilly as hell, but because Jeff Gordon quit NASCAR and I haven't been able to find. I know you over there snickering right now, Walt. I haven't been able to find something that I like to watch. And like her, okay, I'm in this too. I like this idea of the energy in the room. Okay. I am an extrovert. I'm the go-getter. I'm the one that, talks to people. I'm the one that does those aggressive, ambitious, however you want. I'm the talker here. Okay. Let me just put it there. So I like those kind of interactions and starting to watch the Cowboys. Okay. Yes, that's our team. Doing better was even way cool, right? Doing way better. So, sorry, I'm getting things about Facebook, Fooey on Facebook. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. I'm just so thankful that you're being on here with me today and giving me your insight. No worries on the typos. I read typo knees. Oh gosh. So I mean I'm getting into cardio on this one because this one's got my heart racing, let me tell you. I don't understand the logic behind either side of this one because I mean, come on. Come on. For fork's sake. Why? Can you not stop and talk to each other and say, hey, I really appreciate the gift you gave me, but I don't think you'll appreciate it as much as so and so, or something to that effect. You love each other. You got to understand that. But if somebody buys you a gift like that, you take them, period. Don't question it. If you think that you're going to have a bad time, then sit down and have a talk with that person before you go. That's common sense, right? Am I wrong? I don't think I'm too terribly off on this one, but I could be. Y'all let me know what you think, okay? That's crazy. You know, and your concert tickets. Okay, I'm sorry. When you're married, you need to remember too that you are one now. So it's not you and yours, it's ours. We, us, you know? Everything in your life connects to that other person. And you need to remember that, especially when it comes to having a conversation so things like this doesn't happen and people that obviously know how to hold grudges for 8 freaking years do that, what they do, you know? And I mean, I can't say that he didn't have good reason to lay in wait either. Not at all. Well, yep, you know what I'm talking about. Neither one of them are right here. There's too much going on, and you two need to get counseling. Okay, I want to say that you need counseling. You desperately need counseling, and neither one of you, Patty, is so right. Neither one of you needs to buy tickets for each other. If you're going to buy tickets, buy them together. Okay. So everybody knows what's going on and everybody knows where they're going and whether they're going to like it or not, because that's how that rolls. You know, I didn't used to be a heavy metal person. Okay. I like all kinds of music, but heavy metal and rap just weren't my thing. Now, R&B, soul, any kind of soul is just there for me. Jazz. I love jazz. I played the trumpet. Okay. I love music. And my very first concert, my husband took me to. Okay. My very second concert, my husband took me to. And any concert after, he took me to. The last concert I went to was Dolly Parton. So, you know, I'm eclectic. But he's not. He's the heavy metal kind of guy. And you know what? My husband, for Christmas one year, actually, it was for my birthday, and it was Christmas show, but birthday's in September. He bought me tickets to go see. This was the last concert, Dolly Parton. Come on. The man is heavy metal all the way. I mean, we're talking thrash metal. We're talking all that. Okay. I love rock, but I'm not as much into the thrash metal as I am like Metallica. Okay, Metallica was my first concert, and I loved it. My second concert was Metallica, and I loved it. There were a couple other bands, Faith No More, Guns N' Roses, I loved Faith No More, Guns N' Roses. He couldn't stay on stage and keep a bottle out of his mouth long enough, so it was just a bad time for him. Not knocking on him, okay? I love Guns N' Roses. But the thing is, seriously, okay? My husband, who is thrash metal, mosh pit kind of guy, I mean, his hair's longer than mine. He goes to a Dolly Parton concert with the biggest smile on his face. Because you know what? That man, he knew what it did for me. And that's where you two should be, especially 8 years later. Come on. And if you can't get that way, you need to say goodbye to each other, because neither one of you is making it. It's not going to last another 8 years. I guarantee you. All right. Whew, I'm going to let go of this one for just a minute. And we're going to play our little song so I can catch me a little break and get this dog off of me. Enjoy the song. I'll be right back.
She came from the quiet storms, built a fire from the ground, turned a whisper to a warning. Now her voice shakes the town. Every setback was a lesson, every doubt became a key, unlocking something bigger. That's the rise of Boss B. When the lights go low, her vision hits high. She built a whole damn network off a promise and a try. Every sunrise, every moment, she's stacking legacy. This ain't just a channel, this is BBTV. Boss B rising, BBTV's igniting. Turn the volume up, yeah, the whole world's invited. From the gravel road to the neon dream, she built an empire out of broken wings. Boss B rising, sky ain't even the ceiling. When she hits go live, everybody feels it. She's the queen of the comeback, the storm in the stream, crafting stories out of heartbeats, making visions out of dreams. Got thunder in the hustle, got a voice that cuts clean. Every mic she touches turns the power unseen. So let brothers spin the numbers, let the views rise slow or fast. Boss B doesn't measure wins by echoes of the past. This moment is a pivot, this season's history. Bow down to the founder of the BBTV dynasty. Boss B rising, BBTV's igniting. Turn the volume up, yeah, the whole world's invited. From the gravel roads to the neon dream, she built an empire out of broken wings. Boss B rising, sky ain't even the ceiling. When she hits go live, everybody feels it. She's got fire in the head, it's got truth in the frame, got a heart that won't retire and a gift you can't name. Every loop, every letter, every dream she sets free, it's a love note to the world sign. Boss B. And the world keeps watching as the numbers climb, but she's counting all the moments, not the dollar signs. From the late night grind to the daylight scene, she's building something bigger than the algorithm's dream. Boss B rising, BBTV shining, her story's rewriting, a legacy in real time. Boss B rising, BBTV's igniting. Turn the volume up, yeah, the whole world's invited. From the gravel roads to the neon dreams, she built an empire out of broken wings. Boss B rising, sky ain't even the ceiling. When she hits go live, everybody feels it. BBTV, where the stories breathe. BBTV, where the dreamers believe. Boss B rising, watch her take her place. This is BBTV. This is her grace.
Join Boss B for Ask a Bee Monday through Friday, 12 noon Central Standard Time and Jukebox Journey every Saturday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
All right, we are back again. Let's get this other half going. First, let me get that silly thing down because it sure isn't in need here. And take that too. Ah, all right. Now that I've gotten it all set up straight, I do have another story. This one's a little shorter, but I mean, petty is petty, y'all. I hope you guys like that song. You know, I love my ISIU, my Iron Sharpening Iron Universe. Y'all need to get over there and check us all out because we are doing big and happy things. All right. And now, Walt, before I get into this one, Walt, honey, look, this is going to go up. This one's got to go up. Sounds like they use gotcha as foreplay. You know what? You got that right. I bet they do. Oh my God. I love it when you're here, man. You just make it lively. All right. Here's the next story. Let's get into it. Oh my gosh. Am I the a-hole for being petty and telling my mother-in-law her son picked me, not her? We got petty, y'all. I think, okay, let's get into this silly thing. I think this was pretty petty and childish of me, but my husband thinks I did the right thing. Well, then you're already in the no a-hole zone, aren't you? Sorry, my mother-in-law is not here anymore, but me and my mother-in-law, we had some time. We found some common ground, and I love that woman to no end. That being said, let's get into it again. My mother-in-law is one of those incestuous mothers who are in love with their sons. When my husband finished school, he moved out as soon as he could for that reason and kept his distance. Okay, let's say one thing. We're talking about these mothers that don't want to give up their sons. Okay, it's not incestuous, I wouldn't think. I certainly hope not. Well, now we have a daughter. We both agree she can spend more time around us for our daughter. Okay, she's very good with her. Awesome. And honesty at first, he saw a difference. That's awesome. She had changed, but lately she has been making comments and kind of going back to her old ways. Not good. Well, yesterday she came over just before my husband came home from work, and since he wasn't around, she thought she could talk shit about my appearance and the mess in the house. Yep, been there before too. I was breastfeeding my daughter, so I just brushed her off. When my husband came home, he came up to me and kissed me, or mine and my daughter's foreheads, and asked, "How are my beautiful girls?" Before I could answer, my mother-in-law said she is good and my daughter's name is okay for now. Oh. This I've not dealt with. My mother-in-law was better than this, thankfully. My husband turned to her and told her that he was talking to me, but is happy to hear she is good too. Good man. Good man. Okay. My mother-in-law then said, as you can see, my name isn't okay. She looks like a mess. Honestly, I was tired and over it, so I told her we're not going to do this, and if she has a problem, she can leave. My house wasn't even a mess. She got upset and started arguing and then said, "Give it time. My son will come back to me." Oh. So before my husband could say anything, I called her jealous and weird and told her her son loves me and picked me. This obviously upset her more. Yeah, I don't think I'd use those words. But before she could open her mouth, my husband politely told her to leave. She left after some time. My husband said I said what had to be said, and she won't be allowed back until she learns boundaries and respects me. Amen to him. Let's give him some honey. This man is like awesome. I mean, he knows his mom, obviously, but to stand up for his wife like that is A plus in my book, plain and simple. Since then, my husband's siblings and my father-in-law have been calling and messaging him, calling us both a-holes for how we treat his mom. My husband blocked his family on my phone and said we did nothing wrong, but I kind of feel shitty for ruining things with his other family members that he got along with by being immature and petty. So, am I the a-hole? No, not at all. And the fact that you're worried you're the a-hole tells me a lot, right? Because, come on. Look, we're clocking in for a full 10 minutes. A whole 10-minute shift on this one because this was not random pettiness. This was precision guided boundary enforcement delivered while you were literally breastfeeding a newborn. Ew, that's all I have to say about that, right? It is ew, isn't it? And maybe I was wrong when I corrected the word incestuous, because ew. Ew. Oh my gosh, she's feeding your grandchild and you're doing this. Okay, which already puts you in the category of someone who should be protected by federal law and a complimentary snacks, if you ask me. And instead, this woman walks in your house, waits until her son wasn't home, and started running her mouth about your appearance and the mess like she was doing a hostile home inspection for the Department of, I don't know, Audacity, and you ignored it, okay? I'm proud of you for that, kind of. You chose peace. You got a baby. I get that. You stayed seated with your baby on your chest instead of escalating. Good job, okay? For that baby's sake, good job. Which is the first detail everybody magically forgets when they start screaming you were petty, because you did not leap across the couch foaming at the mouth like I would have done. Yeah, full on. Sorry, not sorry. Patty says, I can't stand women that can't see their sons as grown men. She should be thrilled her son found a good woman. She should cherish the daughter-in-law. Amen, sis. Amen. That is what I am screaming over here, because you know what? They let you back in their life and this is what you do? You try and tear her down? Oh my God. You didn't think that if the husband's going to knock you out of their lives one time, don't you think it's feasible they might do that again? I mean, that's just me. If you're doing the same thing, bye. So you don't do the same thing, right? And I'm not playing. I would be leaping across that couch. But you tolerated it. This lady tolerated this. And then the husband comes home, kisses her and the daughter on the forehead like a man who understands vows and vibes, calls you his beautiful girls. And before you can even answer, she's got to put her nose in it. Oh, no, honey. Don't let her answer for you either. See, that's when I would have went ballistic. You don't get to demote somebody in their own house and then go straight for the throat, okay? With she looks like a mess, which is not concern. That is not clumsy wording. That is not generational awkwardness. That's a calculated little jab designed to reassert position in front of her son. Plain and simple. And when you finally say calmly that you're not doing this today, and if she has a problem, she can leave, she does not de-escalate. That's not what she's there for. She doesn't apologize. She does not read the room. She doubles down and drops the sentence that should make every alarm bell in the building go off, which is, give it time. My son will come back to me. No, honey, you just pushed him even further. That's not shade, okay? That is territorial claim. That is emotional squatters' rights. No, honey, no, not in my book. You need to go, lady, and you need to be gone for good, because that child doesn't need to grow up in that atmosphere either. That is somebody announcing future plans for your husband like he is a rental property, okay? And before your husband even has to jump in, you snap back with clarity and say she is jealous and weird and that her son loves you and chose you, which, yes, was sharp, okay? It was spicy, yes. Had some paprika and cayenne, okay? And a garnish, but it was also a direct response to an even more unhinged provocation. And you knew that when you said it. Let us underline this part in fluorescent ink because it matters for the verdict. You did not kick her out. He did. Politely, calmly, like a man who has already lived this movie before and is no longer interested in the sequel. And afterward, he did not waffle. He did not say, maybe you went too far. He didn't try to keep the peace at your expense. He blocked his family on your phone, backed you publicly, said his mother would not be allowed back until she learned boundaries and respected you. And that is exactly what a spouse is supposed to do when somebody disrespects the person who just grew and fed their child with their body. That may sound a little bit feminist, but it's not. It's true. And I'm sorry, I'm 54 years old and I've always believed that. That's not a traditional thing either. That is a thing that happens, and it just happens. It's not something you can stop from happening unless you're the a-hole, okay? So here come the flying monkeys, right? Because whenever someone finally stands up to a long-standing boundary stomper, the extended family group chat lights up like Times Square. It's not New Year's, y'all. Suddenly, everybody who was not in the room becomes a professional mediator with strong opinions about tone. And notice how none of those people were present for the insult, the claim, the provocation, the disrespect in your living room. They are mad because the status quo got disrupted. Plain and simple. They are used to smoothing things over and ignoring it, letting mom be mom, absorbing discomfort so she never has to feel it. And the second someone says, actually, no, not in my house, the system panics and it tries to shove the responsibility for the explosion onto the person who finally refused to absorb it, which is classic maneuver. And you sitting there wondering if you ruin things with family members he otherwise gets along with is exactly how that pressure works. It makes the person who defended themselves feel like the villain, while the instigator gets recast as the wounded party. But let's be brutally honest. Okay, you did not damage those relationships. She did when she chose to insult a postpartum woman. Sit with that for a second. A postpartum woman, you're going to tell her she looks like a mess. There are way too many things going on for postpartum women in their mind already without you telling her she looks like a mess. Honey, she feels like a mess. She just had a child. She's sitting there breastfeeding that child that keeps her up, wakes her up every 2 to 3 hours. Come on. Come on. You know what it was like. Or maybe you had more help than she does. Or maybe nobody wanted to be around you, because I sure as a heck don't. Sorry. I don't like this woman at all. And you did everything right as far as I'm concerned. Because, man, you know what? That just ticks me right the hell off. It's like, I'm trying to say this without going off on a different tangent, but when those relationships got damaged, okay, it wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault. She's challenging her place in the marriage, okay, and she doesn't have a place. She's the mother-in-law, and you got to remember that. She needs to remember that too. And the fact that your husband is being so attentive and so, wow, I just, there are so many good men out there that I know are like this. I hope are like this, because you need to have somebody on your side, especially when it comes to somebody else's family. It's hard for me to go to my in-laws and say anything without it coming back on me. In certain situations like this, okay? In bad situations. I love my in-laws, don't get me wrong. But sometimes, you have to be more careful of how you say things, or the way you set boundaries. You have to be more, I don't know, more assertive, I guess is a good way to put it, with a mother or mother-in-law, because they've been there a lot longer than the spouse has, right? Patty says, I would be the mother-in-law possibly endured abuse. Oh, yeah. Not an excuse, but her behavior is so awful here. Pardon me. There has to be a reason for it. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely, I agree. Something happened there. He's not her only child. That's already been established too. So why is he the one that she treats like this? What has happened? Maybe when he was a child, something happened and she almost lost him. That could be a factor too. You're right to bring that up, Patty, because there is definitely a lot going on here, a lot of underlining circumstances that could be leading to this woman acting the way that she is. I'll be honest, and I think most women do when their first child is born or is married, especially the boys, because I don't, moms and their sons, dads and their daughters, there's just a different kind of bond there. Daddy's girl, you have those phrases that come out. But my point being is that when my first son got married, it was hard for me. I didn't feel like she was taking away from me, but I felt like that was a chapter I wasn't ready to close yet, And I think that makes a big difference too, because I was definitely not ready to lose my son. And I wasn't losing my son per se. He was just starting a new chapter in his life. And when you get older, it's hard when you have to close your chapter, because it feels like, that this chapter is done and I don't have very many chapters left or anything to that extent, because it's true. My life, I'm past my halfway point, right? I'm over 50. Got this rogue hair in my face. Sorry. I'm over 50. I try to take good care of myself, and mostly I do. I have a lot going on. Pardon me. There's so much hair on I'm cleaning while I'm trying to do a show. That's silly, right? But I think that there are so many circumstances here that everybody just needs to sit down and have a discussion about what's going on. I think, Patty, you're right, because something has happened. Something has had to have happened that she feels this way. especially about him. And it had to have been something with him, that was traumatic enough to make her think that she was going to lose him. Uh, That's my opinion, of course. It could be something completely different because, like I said, lots of different things. But my point being here is they need to sit down and talk. The communication needs to get better because obviously just kicking her out without explanation, without real good explanation and talking about the situation is not a really good idea either. You're trying to give your grandchild the opportunity to know this person. And, like me, that's what I want to do. I don't care who the person is in my life at the moment because I'm not going to give my child that opinion. They need to have it themselves. Now, of course, I'm going to protect them from things that might happen, like an argument while I'm in the middle of breastfeeding. But I guess my point is, people well enough to know what boundaries you want to set. You need to know them well enough to know if you can sit down and set those boundaries in a conversation. And if that doesn't work, then you go with, okay, you're gone, you're done, you're never going to see us again. That's when you go there. Don't go to the extreme first. And I feel like, obviously, in the story, there's not as much context about this. But I really think that something's happened with this mother. And I'm so glad you brought that up, Patty. Really, I am, because I wanted to end on that. Because it feels like something has happened for her. Like some kind of abuse or some kind of loss that has affected her in that feeling. And is he the third child or the first child, or which child is he? Because I think that makes a difference too. I have 3 children. I had 3 different relationships with them. That doesn't mean I love one more than the other. But there are things that have happened in their lives up until now that has told me, hey, maybe this was a factor in why they feel this way. And until you can get into that conversation, I don't think you're going to find any kind of solution. And that's just my take on this, guys. And honestly, I think mom really needs to chill out. I think her relationship with the daughter-in-law needs to be reevaluated, and it needs to be on her end, because I think she's doing everything that she can to hurt this relationship. But why? You got to find the why. If you don't find the why, you don't know how to fix it, right? My opinion. Anyway. So, yeah. Nope, that didn't work. Sorry, I'm trying to load something up here. Of course, it always happens that way. My outro, because yes, it is about that time. We've got 58 minutes and 22 seconds in. And, I think that's a good place to land it today, because if nothing else, these stories prove that unresolved resentment does not quietly evaporate, It just sits in the corner doing push-ups until the exact worst possible moment to re-enter the chat. And whether it's spouses keeping 8-year receipts or in-laws trying to rewrite family hierarchies in real time, the common thread is always the same. Communication that never finished the job. Boundaries that were never enforced early enough, and definitely people discovering the hard way that kindness without limits eventually turns into a powder keg. And that is so dangerous. So if today's cases made your blood pressure rise, or had you muttering, "Oh, absolutely not," under your breath or in the chat, thank you, Patty. Thank you all. Do me a favor and drop your verdicts in the comments, because I want to know where you landed with this. Who you sided with, and which comment, which moment had you clutching your imaginary pearls, right? If you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe. Join the hive, because we are here every single day. I think we're going to try this 3 o'clock spot, because it seems like we've gotten some attention in here. I got rid of all my false friends and backstabbing family. There you go, none your business. There you go. And that's a great name too. I love that. None your business. And hey, if that's what you have to do, then that's what you have to do. That's self-preservation. There's nothing wrong with self-preservation. Good for you, Nunya. Good for you. Proud of you for that one. So, all right. The sorry, I got a little distracted. My dog again. But listen, for my regulars, you already know I love you for showing up, writing with me, and keeping these conversations thoughtful. Well, I love it when you show up, man. Patty friend, I love it when you have a day off because then I get to see you. I like keeping these conversations thoughtful and spicy, and surprisingly, they're kind of therapeutic. And we'll be back tomorrow, probably 3 o'clock. I like this slot with another stack of stories that are guaranteed to test your patience and your group chat instincts. So until then, take care of yourselves. Drink plenty of water. Don't text the person you're mad at until you've slept on it. Don't react. And remember, not every fight is about what just happened. Sometimes it's about what somebody's been saving for years. Apparently 8 years. All right, y'all. Check out my Tuber Chat buddies and a little BB promo. I love y'all. See you tomorrow.
I want to take a minute to shout out Tuber Chat. If you're a creator who's tired of surface level advice, says, and actually wants to understand how YouTube works, that's the space. It's real conversations with real creators who are in the trenches building channels, testing ideas. No posturing, no gatekeeping, no fake guru energy, just people sharing what's working, what isn't, and why. If you're serious about growing, learning, and not doing this alone, check out Tuber Chat. The link is in the description. If you're enjoying this show, subscribing is the easiest way to support what's being built here on BBTV. You'll see the join button right next to subscribe. No pressure, no expectations, just an option for people who want to support the channel in a real way. We're live weekdays at 12 p.m. Central, and each day has its own focus. Same honesty, same voice, just different conversations depending on the day. And if you've got a story you want to share, send it in. Anonymous is always fine.
Boss be right.